welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name's Kira. Today I want to talk about releasing your feminine energy. I know it can sound silly, but it's also about just, knowing your worth and knowing what your boundaries are, being firm with your boundaries, because I feel like a lot of times when you want something so much, you tend to almost forget what you need in order to get what you want or what you need in the future. It's very easy to get blindsided. Rose-colored glasses are on. Tapping into your feminine energy isn't all about, relationships. It's not all about what you need to do in order to find the relationship you want. It's also about knowing what you just want in your life, in your career, in your future, and how you feel. I feel like a lot of the times when it is to do with something relationship-wise, just because it's good, we feel like, oh, we should continue this because it's technically good, there's nothing wrong happening. But if your nervous system is reacting poorly to the decisions they're making, say something happens and you overthink about it or it just makes you feel uneasy, that's a good enough reason to walk away. And I want you guys to know that that's a completely good enough reason, a valid reason to step out of it and just be like, you know what, I could be happier on my own, and that's totally okay. Just let things go with kindness, and it literally will feel like a breath of fresh air. You will feel so good, and you won't hold any negative energy towards the situation. Because I think that's what makes it hard to move on from people. You hold such negative energy towards the situation, and then it lingers. That feeling of hatred, you just focus on that. And if you release it with positive energy, even if this person hurt you, did you dirty, if they did something really just not okay, stay firm with your boundaries. And I feel like that's when the divine feminine energy comes into play, because you're doing this decision for you. Hey, this person's not up to what you need them to be. Let it go. That person, it's not their fault for not being on the same level as you are or the same energy or wavelength that you are, because that's simply just their life, and that's simply how they're going to treat their life, and that's on them, and that's okay. It's okay for them to have that life because you're okay with letting that go and focusing on a life that you deserve and that you want. I think it's also important to be patient and to let yourself be patient. You don't need someone to fill that emptiness of, I just need to talk to someone every day, because your girls can do that for you. It's okay to not have that constant person. And I feel like the hardest thing is being okay with that. It's kind of like an addiction. I guess that's not really the best word to use for it, because I don't really see it as, anyone's fault. And I mean, I guess that's what an addiction is. It's no one's fault. It's just how you feel attached to something. And once you let that attachment go, all of a sudden it causes a strike in your nervous system, and you don't know how to feel about it. Just know, just like quitting nicotine, it's the first 2 or 3 days that are the hardest, but once you get past that, it's gonna day by day get easier to deal with. And I think that's what's really important to understand with letting go of that attachment. Letting go with things in peaceful ways will also make you feel much better about yourself. You're not gonna feel like, oh, I didn't get to say the last word, oh, I didn't get to put him in his place, I didn't get to ghost him. When you do those things, you ghost or you just lash out at people, you're always gonna feel a little bit of unfinished business in a way. That's really what I'm learning about everything. And this is the same with friends. I've dealt with that in the past as well, with friendships ending, and it can be very intense, and people like to be really toxic about these fights. And honestly, the best way to win these arguments, if you really want to win an argument, just be the calm one. I can't say it any more clearly. If you want to win an argument or a breakup situation, if you want to seem like the bigger person, always be the calm one, and always treat them and speak with them with respect and kindness, even if they don't, not respect, because some people don't deserve your respect, especially if they treat you so poorly. But if they see you speaking like that, everything you're saying isn't bothering you, it's they freak out because they're not getting the reaction they wanted out of you. And that can happen a lot with breakups with people who are emotionally mature and can't really handle you leaving, or even if they're treating you horribly and they can't handle how you're reacting, it'll show. But if it's someone who's emotionally mature, I've dealt with this with people in the past, when they're emotionally mature enough to handle the situation, they will also respond in a respectful way. And I think that's really what helps the situation for sure. But it's still okay to leave that person. Like, I don't want to say like, oh, they're mature, so like they must be like good enough. No, you're just lucky that you didn't have to deal with the chaos. Another thing I wanted to touch base on was, I feel like I mentioned this a little bit of, just because things are going good doesn't mean you have to stick with them, right? I feel like our bodies really keep the score. There's a book called that, actually, The Body Keeps the Score. My mom read it and she recommended it to me. I haven't read it yet, but definitely recommend if you know what I'm talking about. It's all about, like, your body will physically show signs if someone's not right for you. It's really crazy. I know it sounds like silly, but it's always been accurate. I've gotten anxious feelings in my stomach when I'm around people, and not in like you can easily mistaken it for butterflies, and I think a lot of people want to believe that, but the anxiety that I felt was like my body being in fight or flight mode. And your body does that because you're like, this doesn't feel right. It's not how it should feel. When you know what love is and you've felt it before, you're not gonna settle for a situation that isn't near enough close to that. And so your body's trying to warn you, like, this isn't the situation you should put yourself in. It's not healthy. You're not going to, continuing this isn't gonna benefit you. But it was a beautiful experience, and when you experience something with someone, never regret what you did, because you learned from that. And I wouldn't have found this mindset if it wasn't for X, Y, and Z relationship situations with other people. I wouldn't have learned what I've learned today. So don't be hard on yourself. 100% don't be hard on yourself. Seriously, like, let yourself feel the feelings. Let yourself be angry. Let yourself be sad. And then once you release that, you can leave it in the past, write it down, throw it away, rip up the paper, throw it away, and let it go. Let it be, because you cannot change your past, but how you go about it in the future is what you can control. And that's actually a good thing to talk about. I feel like, in my personal experience, my issue is needing to be in control, right? And I feel like a lot of people deal with this issue, and this is what causes different attachment styles. I feel like for me, the need for control causes me to have an avoidant attachment style, because when I can't control an outcome or how someone's acting in a situation, I like to pull back, because I don't want to get rejected. I don't want to get hurt. I'm scared of that. So instead of getting the opportunity to get rejected, I pull all the way back. And because of that, I'm then also creating a toxic environment for myself, because I'm not getting answers. I'm not getting the result that I need. Even though this person is treating me the way I know I don't have to be treated, I'm still causing myself to be in a worse situation than I could be. So I think that's something that's really important to come to terms with and figure out how to move past it. I'm still figuring it out, but I feel like you really need to take a step back when you feel like you're constantly needing to control someone. It's the let them theory. Let them show you how they're going to treat you. Seriously, like, let them show you what they're capable of and what they're not capable of. Let them show you how they love someone, what their love language is like naturally. And I do think communication is important when you are looking for a serious relationship, of how you like to be loved and how you like to be taken care of. I think that's an important conversation once you see them making the effort. Because once they've already shown you the effort, you can then tell them, I do love it when you do this, X, Y, and Z. I love it when you do this. Even if they haven't done it before, just tell them how you like to be loved. But if this person's not automatically showing you signs that are even close to being compatible with what you're looking for, I don't think it's worth it to tell them how you deserve to be loved. Because it's like when you start to tell someone and if they don't actually try even after you tell them, or they do try but then it fizzles out after they start getting comfortable, it's just not, you don't have to tell someone to care about you when there's someone else out there who's gonna do it without even blinking to ask them twice. It's a real thing. In my first love relationship, right? Like my first serious relationship, this person always knew how to, like, written by a woman, right? This person knew how to treat me, always put me first, always made me feel safe, and just always tried, and then put the effort in. And then even though the relationship might have ended and not been what I expected it to be or go where I expected it to go, that love taught me how I deserve to be treated and how I deserve to be loved and taken care of and just how I'm supposed to feel. And I'm very fortunate to have had that experience. I know a lot of people don't have that experience for their first love, but I just want you to know that even though something ended, take what you've learned from that and then let that show you, whether it was bad or good, how you deserve to be treated. Because if you know someone was capable of treating you well, like a princess, like a passenger princess, like all those little things that matter, and we know that they matter, right? Like some guys don't think about that, and that's fine. That's just on them. It's not my cup of tea. I'm not gonna entertain that. But when you know how it feels to feel that, you're not gonna settle for less, and that's a beautiful thing to be taught that in a relationship and let someone teach you that. So when you are looking for someone, when you are ready to look for something, you aren't settling. You know the signs to step out of. Like, why would I go to less when I've already had something great, but I know I can have something better? Why would I even go less? Like, that just doesn't make sense, and you shouldn't do that either. You shouldn't, if you did have a bad relationship, why would you go to that same level? Instead, look for someone that at least meets you halfway and figure out, okay, if this person can meet me halfway, there's gonna be someone who can meet me above and beyond. It's girl math. Like, I don't make the rules. It's literally girl math. Like, there is someone, just trust it. Because if you're wasting your time with a loser, you're too busy focusing on that. It's like, okay, my favorite thing I've ever heard is my dad taught me this theory. It's called the red car theory. Whenever someone, like, say you bought a new car and it's a red car, or a Nissan, you all of a sudden see red Nissans everywhere. It's just, you never saw it before. Ever since you brought attention towards it, it's all you see. But the red car theory is basically all about seeing what's in front of you and taking that opportunity for what it is, because there's so many chances that are going to fly by in our life, and if you are settling with someone who is driving you in the wrong direction, you're not going to see the red car. You're not going to see it because you're going to be too busy focused on something else, and you're not going to see what's right in front of you. So don't waste your time with a loser. Don't, because you're a queen. You're a beautiful baddie. You do not need to settle for the bare minimum. Ew. Like, no. You are hot. You're literally hot. Like, why would you're physically hot, you're mentally hot. You're just a hot woman. Don't settle. Because listen, being on your own also has its own magnetic feminine energy with it. When you are capable of being on your own and being so secure in that, and just being so, like, and I'm not even saying to be independent in the toxic way, right? When you're like, I don't need anyone, I hate men, like all of that stuff. Like, we don't want to be like that, right? We just want to be secure with ourselves. We're letting opportunities come in front of us. We're taking it if we're interested in it and letting go of it if it's not what we want. We are secure in ourselves. We are happy with where we are. We're not seeking. We attract, we don't chase. People are going to chase us if they're drawn to our energy. They're going to show us that they want us. Don't ever let a man tell you twice he don't want you. My favorite line ever. Don't let a man tell you twice he don't want you. For real. Like, seriously, and sometimes they don't even have to tell you, it's just their actions speak louder than words. Actually, though, I will always be firm in that, believe that. The second I feel a disconnect, I'm addressing it and I'm over it. And I think the important thing is to, when you do address it, don't come about it in anger, because that will just put you down and it will really just make you feel more overwhelmed by the situation. Address it with confidence. Like, you don't even ask them to do anything. You don't ask them for anything. Just say what the problem is and address that problem is unattractive. It's not what you're looking for. It's not compatible with what you need. And at the end of the day, that's all that you don't owe this person anything else. You don't even owe them anything, but you're giving them the benefit of the doubt to let them know why you're leaving. And I think that's also important other than ghosting, because if you let them know, you did your part. You closed the book, you wrote the final lines of the chapter, and it was on your terms. So I really hope you all find what you're looking for. If you're looking for something casual and you find someone who's also looking genuinely for something casual, I think it's important to experience that. Don't let other people's opinions sway what you're doing. As long as you're happy and as long as your nervous system is feeling safe, you don't feel chaotic, you don't feel stressed out, I say go for it. If you are unsure what you're looking for, which is like where I feel like I'm at, I don't want anything casual. I don't. I'm aware of that. So there, I'm gonna pull back. And I'm not gonna put myself in a situation where I know I'm not gonna be happy. So that's really what I feel like is important, is to know when to leave. But if you are looking for something serious, I think it's important to have those conversations as soon as possible. Figure out what this person's looking for. Is it compatible with what you're looking for? When someone tells you what they're looking for, believe them. If they say they're looking for something casual, don't expect to change their mind. It's really rare that someone changes their mind, and if they do, they'll make their way towards you, but you're not waiting for anyone. You're not waiting for anyone to change. You're not gonna make anyone change, because at the end of the day, the love of your life wouldn't need to be changed. They would see you and love you for who you are, for exactly the way you are. I know that because I felt that before. I felt that love. Just trust that you will find that person, and if you felt that before and you don't have it now, you will find it again. I genuinely believe that. You will find it again, and it will be... Honestly, I feel like the loves you find in your life are just all so different. That's what I feel like, at least. I don't know for sure, but it just feels like the love you'll find with each person is gonna feel so different. So don't be hard on yourself. Trust your intuition. Please, please trust your intuition. It's always right. It really is. It's always right. It's always going to be right. Your body will actually feel sick if you don't. Sometimes you get like a sore throat, you're not saying what you need to say. You get a headache, you're thinking too much. You start breaking out with acne when you're not used to that. It's because you're just so stressed and anxious over the situation. It's a clear sign that you're not happy. Why would you waste your time with that when you can be so much happier on your own? I was like, when I ended something, I was like, thank God it's finally over. I can finally focus on myself. I can finally let go and just focus on my school, focus on my work, focus on my career. It's just something that I've been waiting for. But when you're being held back and drawn out, it can cause you to be less energetic, less excited for the day. So, but once you let go, breath of fresh air, weight lifted off your shoulders, it's all how it's meant to be. If you're into Lululand, girl, me too. Like, me too. I mean, hey, as long as you're in enough Delulu and you still have enough Solulus, I say there's no harm in that. As long as you're being safe and you're fine. It's normal to be into Lululand as long as it keeps you happy. It keeps me happy. I'm still kicking it. I fully support. As long as you are keeping your heart safe. For real though. Anyways. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys find the love you're looking for and the self-love that you deserve. Like, comment, subscribe, turn the notification bells on. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Keep being beautiful.